Ten Best Picks presents the top 10 best gaming motherboards. Starting at number 10. Gigabyte A520 AORUS Elite. That is for sure. AMD's A520 motherboard chipset may not make the most glamorous parts of a PC. You probably won't buy one to put in the heart of your water-cooled NVIDIA RTX 3090 gaming system. When you look at the chipset itself, it doesn't really miss out on essential real-world features. There's no Psy 4.0, but then no Intel system with it either, going to Rocket Lake next year. The Gigabyte A520 AORUS Elite is a high-end A520 board that sounds like oxymoronic, but if you don't know what it is, you'll be forgiven for assuming it's a mid-range board rather than a dollar bargain. 90. Gigabyte deserves credit for including sound built around the ALC1200 codec. Usually this is intended for use with more expensive motherboards. If you're on a budget, this Gigabyte A520 AORUS Elite is well worth a look. It makes Intel's budget B460 board look weaker by comparison, plus you'll benefit from next-gen Ryzen compatibility. Is it for everyone? No, but the Gigabyte A520 AORUS Elite, unlike most previous A320 boards, certainly doesn't mean cheap and bothersome. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. At number 9. ASRock A520 MITX. AMD's budget Ryzen motherboard chipset, the A520, has largely fallen out of sight. While the B350 and B450 motherboards are primarily considered the low end, the A320 is considered the lowest end. The introduction of B550 motherboards and their associated increase in price left a huge hole in the market under $100. Enter A520. If you have a tighter budget and don't care about Psy 4.0 or the overclocking support offered by the B550, then the A520 motherboard might be just what you need. It's cheap, it's really cheap, but a good A520 board can more or less do everything a pound costs twice as much. The sound of the ASRock A520M is a bit disappointing, but that's something budget boards often compromise on. A gamer listening to in-game compressed audio may not be more interested. The tiny ASRock A520 MITX AC has it in the right place and will serve you well at the heart of a budget gaming system. It benefits from the Ryzen platform strengths and adds some future-proofing features to the mix. MITX fans looking for an affordable AMD Ryzen option should definitely have this one on their shortlist. Number 8 of my list. ASUS ROG Strix B550E Gaming. Let me introduce the ASUS ROG Strix B550E Gaming, the most expensive new AMD B550 series motherboard from ASUS. Nearly $300 for a budget chipset-based motherboard? Really? If that sounds like something you never knew you needed, wait. It's not really crazy. Sure, the ASUS ROG Strix B550E is about the same price as other X570 motherboards. In fact, it quite matches our favorite of AMD's top-end motherboards, the MSI X570 Gaming Pro Carbon. But it's a premium motherboard, with everything you'd expect from ASUS's Republic of Gamers, such as the 14+2 power deck, M2 heatsink, and pre-installed panels. You also get Wi-Fi 6 wireless networking as well as an Intel 2.5 GB Ethernet network. Performance is also generally good for high-end ASUS motherboards, matching the X570 motherboard for no-problem gaming performance. That said, out of the B550 boards we tested, it was the more affordable MSI board that actually came out top in our live performance test. But ASUS can overclock much better, even if it consumes more raw power from the plug. Coming at number 7. Gigabyte X570 AORUS Master. Gigabyte X570 motherboards based on AMD X570 chipset provide full support for the latest AMD Ryzen 5000 series processors. The brand new design is a testament to Gigabyte's dedication to design quality. The Gigabyte X570 motherboard offers a rich list of features such as Psy 4.0 support, USB Type-C interface on select motherboards, fine-tuning audio, high-speed Ethernet and standard setting. Latest Wi-Fi design to meet the user's performance, audio and data transfer needs. New, advanced heat and power design allows users to unleash performance on the AMD Ryzen 5000 series processors, making Gigabyte X570 motherboards perfect for users looking to build a gaming system. The best AMD platform. The 14-phase VRM design ensures your CPU gets plenty of clean power, so it's one of the best options for overclocking a Ryzen 3000 or Ryzen 5000 processor of your choice. All of that metal is on top of the VRM to help keep things cool, as well as a large sheet covering the back of the board. The M2 slots feature a heatsink, expansion slot, and reinforced memory. The only real sign against it, aside from the price, is that you only have 4 SATA ports to play with if you use all 3 M2 slots. However, this is a sturdy and thoughtful outer case that will serve you well. At number 6, MSI MPG X570 Gaming Pro. The MSI MPG X570 represents a combination of the most advanced motherboard technology, built to take full advantage of AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen CPUs. It has 4 DIMM slots that can handle speeds up to 4400 MHz and 2 M2 slots sportily support for PCIe 4.0. The rear I/O panel features 7 USB-A ports for peripherals and a single USB-C port for high-speed data connection and transfer. There are headers for the included Wi-Fi antenna to help with wireless connectivity, as well as a Gigabit Ethernet port. The MPG X570 has enough compatibility features to get the most out of your hardware now and in the future, as long as you're willing to pay a premium for it. While it is definitely an excellent MOBO, if you haven't committed to shopping the top ingredients list now, or in the short term, you may want to consider a slightly cheaper board for your needs. Your bridge. As its name implies, this motherboard model also supports Wi-Fi connection, giving you more choices about the network connection. It is also equipped with HDMI to support the APU output. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Halfway of my listed number 5. ASUS ROG Strix Z390i. With prices falling and the previous Z370 based model disappearing from suppliers, ASUS Strix Z390i Gaming became the leader of the MITX boutique segment. Despite its small size and few upgrade options, ROG Strix Z390i Gaming offers great performance and value. Boasting stable 5 GHz overclocking using a number of memory speeds, including fine-tuned 3600 MHz, its single PCIe X16 slot pushes flagship graphics cards to match speeds. The smallest Strix has a long feature list without shortcomings despite a small form factor, including dual PCIe Gen3x4 M2 slots, Intel V219 Ethernet, Intel 9562x2800 2.11 AC Wi-Fi upgrade, and ALC 1220A audio codec, supported by circuit isolator and headphone amplifier. Despite its many features, Strix Z390i's neat design makes it possible to quickly assemble and configure the system, an important factor to consider in building an MITX system. It should be noted that this board can be difficult to find, but the previous generation ROG Strix Z370i model, with its thinner design, is still a great alternative, especially at a budget price point. Coming in at number 4 of my list, MSI MagB460M. Owning one of the best Z490 motherboards may appeal to those who love your inner quintessence, but the shocking price is certainly an issue for many. Sure, it would be nice to have 10 GB LAN, 7 M2 slots or quad GPU support, but who really needs all of that? Most of us will be completely satisfied with a quality B460 motherboard, such as the MSI MagB460M Mortar Wi-Fi. MSI MagB460M Mortar Wi-Fi, aka Mortar, is a micro ATX board with a list of features we deem very competitive. While the looks are obviously subjective, I think it's a very nice looking panel with solid metal heatsinks and a pretty subtle theme that could even be handy. There are no RGB LEDs on the board, but you have RGB and ARGB connectors if you absolutely must have bling. It has powerful VRM, 2.5 GB LAN, Wi-Fi 6 and full I/O, if not exceptionally excellent. Pairing it with a 65W non-K processor and having a crack of pseudo-overclocking is definitely worth the minimum effort. If you can live up to the maximum DDR4 to 2666 speed, something like the Intel Core i5 to 10600 and B460M mortar, combined with a good mid-range GPU, will deliver a decent, quality gaming mix. Reasonable. At number 3. MSI MPG Z490. The MPG series brings out the best for gamers by allowing full color expression with advanced RGB lighting control and synchronization. Test on a different level of personalization with front LED strip lights, providing convenient in-game and real-time notifications. With the MPG series, turn your device into the center of attention and style leaderboards. The key issue is where, in terms of gaming performance, there's practically nothing between any of the Z490s we've tested, and it's only a little slower when it comes to performance. Real CPU performance in productivity applications. However, when it comes to overclocking, the MPG Z490 gaming carbon Wi-Fi definitely can't compare to the big boys, with our 10900K doing their best at their peak. The power components and the cooling system are not enough to prevent the CPU from thirsting when pushed to a maximum of 5.3 GHz for all cores. However, while that may mean it's not the board you choose for an overclocked i9, it's a small market for gamers, and for an i5 or i7 CPU, MSI Gaming Carbon remains. Is a quality home for your Comet Lake CPU. Coming at number 2. Gigabyte Z390 AORUS Ultra. Gigabyte Z390 AORUS Ultra motherboards compete with the MSI Z390 Gaming Pro Carbon AC and ASUS ROG Maximus Xi Hero for a lower price point and more features. It has 3 M.2 slots for your super speed and NVMe SSD needs, Intel Wi-Fi WAV2 and Ethernet, full RGB processing with plenty of ALC 1220 titles and audio. You'll have to climb right to the top of the product stack to get the same things from MSI and ASUS, both of which offer a little extra shine, but also charge a lot for perks. The only real downside for us is that this MyBoard is probably a bit too flashy and may not be suitable for more limited game builds. Thankfully, you can disable all RGB bling in the BIOS if you wish, although other factors can still conflict. But that's a little criticism of this cult product. And number 1. ASUS ROG Maximus Xi. If you want the best, full-featured Intel Comet Lake motherboard, then I'm afraid you'll have to pay for it. And pay through the nose if ASUS's Z490 Maximus Xi Extreme is whatever happens. As the name suggests, it's packed with plenty of classy and convenient extras, and it's also one of the highest performing Z490 motherboards we've ever had. Tested. But it only really makes sense if you're buying the K-series Core i9 and really intend to overclock it. Maximus Xi will let you get the top clock speed of your 10900K and won't turn it into a pile of molten slag while you're there. The MSI Z490 Godlike is truly the fastest Z490 completely at high speed. ROG Maximus Xi Extreme provides advanced connectivity, including Wi-Fi 6 and dual Ethernet with Intel 2.5G Ethernet and 10G ports to eliminate bottlenecks, so you can enjoy exceptionally smooth network and LAN play. Obviously, it's only for the top-end PC builds. However, the roughly $18 million price tag means you can really build a respectable full gaming PC for the price of this single motherboard. It's an ambitious Z490 motherboard and arguably the best gaming motherboard for Comet Lake overclocking, but I admit this isn't a special real-life buying option for most of us. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel, share this video and hit the like button.